Well, I guess it was bound to happen eventually, and it has. Something we thought would never happen. We have somehow inadvertently left a gate unlatched, and we have one pen, in fact, the pen that had the most deer in it, and they have pretty much gone out in the woods on their own. Now, that's not a bad deal at all, because these deer are being raised in order to turn loose and let go in the woods. So that's what's eventually going to happen to all these deer anyway. So it's not like the end of the world at all. Not like the end of the world at all. It's not but the one thing is, we've got babies in the pen. We may have mamas that are gone, and Bubba is running around. The big giant deer that you see on the Thursday night videos, he's gone. He's out running around in the woods too. And the other thing is, we sure don't want those mama deer out there in the woods, and their babies in the pen. That's the bad thing. We also don't want the babies out there in the woods when they're little, because in the pens, they're totally safe. But anyhow, that's what happened. So we're going to see if we can't probably put some bait, put some feed out in the pen, and see if we can kind of coax some of these guys back in, because they've got water, they've got shade, they've got food, they've got everything they want in the pens, and there may be some babies in the pen. So we're getting ready to go in there and take a look and see what happens. Okay, well, we've got this, but a little bit of this is good news. A little bit of this is good news. We have 4 babies in this pen. That's all we've had, 2 sets of twins, and 1 set of twins was born yesterday. And there's the little guy right over there. I don't know, you know, when I've got this over on this mode, it's hard to see, but there's the little guy right over there that was just born yesterday. Another deer right down there that was just born yesterday. And these deer that were just born yesterday, I think we can still pick up. I think we can still catch. After they're about 48 hours old, you can't catch them. And you can see that little pretty rascal right down there, and that'll be a little doe. Looks like it's got the tag in its left ear, and you can see I'm pretty close to that deer. And he's not paying too much attention to me. I've got the iPhone zoomed out all the way. Now you turn and look down there, and here's the good deal. That is this deer's mama. These are a set of twins, and there's the other one down there with her other baby, and that probably will be the little buck down there. I can't really see. It's a long way down there where that tag is, but that's probably, that's her babies. And I think, you know, we've only got, I think maybe 4 bucks or 5. I don't know. It's what exactly the mix is, but then we got another mama down there that's got her 2 babies, and that's probably the reason that these 2 deer did not leave when the other deer left. That we had 9 does in here and Bubba. So what is out in the woods wild is 7 does and Bubba. And so these deer probably did not leave because of their babies. And all the babies in this pen were 4. So we got all the babies. All the babies are here, and they're 2 mamas. So there's not any separation. That's the great deal right there. There's not baby, like a baby in here and a mama outside, or vice versa. All 4 babies that was in this pen, we had 9 does, 2 of them had twins, and we had 9 does. We still have 2 does in here with the babies. So that's a very good thing right there. And honestly, if, you know, I don't know what's going to come back. We'll find out over the next day or so. I don't know what's going to come back into the pens. We're actually probably going to leave 2 pens, these 2 front pens open. And we're going to try to move these 2 mamas and their babies into that back pen, which is a large pen. There's 5 babies in that pen over there with their mamas, and they'll have everything they want. We're going to we are filling the feeders. You can look back there right now. Apache actually had come down to fill the feeders, and that's where we found out that somehow a gate had been not latched good or come open or something. But as soon as we get through filling those feeders, what we're going to do is try to move these 2 does and get them to go. And we're going to pretty much let them go almost voluntarily, because it's getting hot already. It's going to be a really hot day, and we don't want these babies running. We don't want the mamas running. And but I think that probably if we're able to pick these 2 babies up, which there is, if we're able to pick these 2 babies up, and they're all 4 of them laying right here now. I see one right here beside me, and I think I see another right there on that fence line. I see another in the corner, and one walking there. So hopefully we're going to try to just gently move them around, and we'll try to pick these 2 babies up and put them in the other pen. Mama's will go over there with them. She's going to go over and check on her baby right there. And we get these moved over there. Then we will probably just simply put some food on the ground, put some food in some containers, some feeders, and hopefully let some of those come back in throughout the day. Just leave them alone. Let some come back in throughout the day, and then probably transfer them to a back pen, open the gates and let them go to a back pen. All the pens are kind of connected together by gates, so we can move them around without any problems. And I've done all this talking, and that little baby right there, just sitting there, just breathing. That's all, just breathing, not moving. They're just absolutely precious. So that's our plan. That's our plan of attack. Hopefully to move these two mamas and their two sets of twins, let them move over to the other pen, and then leave the gates open on the two front pens, and hopefully we'll have some of the deer come back home. Now, honestly, we might have some of the deer come back home that we have let loose that's been running around in the woods. So we don't necessarily know that, but we know what is out is 7 mamas and Bubba. And the main thing I'd like to get back in here is Bubba, because I do want to watch Bubba grow every week. And I don't want him out there in the wild where a pack of coyotes or bobcats or a mountain lion could get a hold of him and kill him. That's the other big thing. But if he lives in the wild, he just will live in the wild. I mean, that's just part of it too. And he might start coming around the house. You just never know. But he was really, really wild. So we'll just see what happens. Okay, you can see that Apache's got 2 of the babies. These are 2 babies that was born yesterday. You can see that it's very easy to pick up. And of course, you know, Apache handled them yesterday, so they're really not afraid of Apache. But they're very easy to pick up the first 48 hours. You can see he's got 2 of them. Now, here's our plan. We've got one of the mamas has already gone over there, and Apache's going to take these 2 babies, and we're going to put them back here in this back pen. Now, the great thing about the back pen is it's got a lot of trees. The whole bottom of the pen is covered in trees. We didn't cut any trees down at all when we built these pens. And these babies are going to be over here. Their mama obviously is going to come over to them. He's going to go down there and put them in under that shade in the middle there, Apache, in those trees. He's going to go put them there in the shade in the middle, and then we're going to get out of there, and their mama's one mama's already over there. Now I don't know if it's that one's mama or the other two's mama, but we've got now we've got half of the deer moved out of that pen. He's going to put them down. They're going to take off running. Look at their little feet, get ready to go. But you see, they're not really scared because Apache's handled them 2 days in a row. Now they're going to look around a little bit. The other deer will probably come and look at them. And, oh, we got new babies in the pen. And look at this, to look them over. And that might be their mama come back over there. I don't know. Their mama's over there with them. That might be her.
That's the mama.
That's her. You think that's her?
Yeah.
Yep. Apache said that's her right there. He recognized these deer. He's with them every day. So we've got one mama and her babies, and look at there. They're going after their mama right there. She says, "Come on down here, kids." And there they go running after her right there. And so that's sensational. That part was easy. Now if we get the little older twins moved over there, we'll get the older twins moved over there with their mama. That's going to be really good. My phone is losing focus there because of the wire. I don't know what to focus on. It's just shooting through the wire. And we've got food out there. We're going to put food in this pen over here. We've got all the deer in the back pens now. That's why it's so good to have 4 pens where you can move things around. Costs a lot more money, but, and hopefully we get Bubba back. We get Bubba back. We don't mind the other does having babies out in the woods. That'll be just fine. That'll be just fine. Well, Apache now has picked up another one. And this is one of them was born yesterday. So actually he had one that was born a couple of days ago. So this will put up 3 of the 4 babies over in the other pen. So what that means, obviously, is it'll be real quickly, and that other doe will go. So we got 3 of the 4 babies now will be in the back pen, and that's great. So we're going to be able to make this transfer relatively easy, it looks like. We've got 3 of the 4 babies over there. We still got 1 baby, and Apache was just able to go and pick that one up. So I think one of the older deer, he picked up one of the older deer. They just see him every day, and they just think he's part of the herd. So we're getting closer to getting that transfer done. Now we'll see if we can get some to come home. Okay, now you can see over in the other pen, Apache is moving around. And again, we're trying to not let those deer run much at all. Beamer, sit. I'm outside the pen because I'm trying to get away where I don't have any effect on them. And we've got 1 baby left. Obviously, if we get that other baby over there in the pen, we get that baby moved, and that baby's going to get up and run. So this is good, because if that baby will continue to run and run into the pen, which he didn't. He stopped. Apache was that. Mama's probably not going to go into that. Coming back, Apache. He likes that corner. Because she's kind of realizing that one of her other babies is over in that other pen. Yep. Yeah, there's 3 babies over there now, so she might go on. This little baby should just run down the fence. I just make this little baby run down the fence line. Just move him kind of easy and he'll run down that fence line. He's looking at us over here, even though we're quite a ways away. I think if he runs down that fence line. Oh, now you got a baby, you got deer coming back. There he goes. The best laid plans. We were doing so good. She ought to turn around and go right back down that fence line, hopefully. But she might run down the middle and go to the corner, too. Oh, yeah, she's just looking for new territory. Yeah, that's just a doe with a single. But those others are trying to come through. They're going to come over if you don't. Yeah. Better get those 2 back. Yeah, they're going to go back home. I may need to go down there and stand and keep those from coming through. I don't know. Yeah, they're going on now. Yeah, if they hadn't been coming in, I think that little baby would have gone on down. And one of her babies is on that other side, so. She just got to go down and come around. Wish she wouldn't run quite so much, but she'd just go to the other side, we'd be in good shape. She don't want to leave this pen because she has a baby in there. She wants to go to the other side. The other deer are coming. I hate for them to be running so much, but they're used to it. Well, now we're back to our one doe and fawn in the pen. And the problem is, of course, we have our twins separated, so she needs to be on the other side, and then all we have to do is move a baby. And she's very close to doing that right now. She's got to go around that gate, though. That's the problem. When she starts to go around the gate, and she knows she's got a baby still back in here. So that's just it. She's just being a good mama. She knows she's got a baby in the other pen, but she doesn't want to go. I'm going to have to walk down there and get over in that other pen to keep those other deer from wanting to come through that gate. They won't. I'll keep them down below. We have been a little bit successful in doing what we were trying to do. Not totally successful in doing what we're trying to do. We've been a little bit successful in doing it, but we got to a point to where it made the entire project a little bit unsuccessful right now. We had 3 babies over in the back pen, which is where we wanted, and we had 1 mama over there. And we have been unsuccessful in getting both babies and the mama over there, and so we are going to have to leave that middle gate completely open, and we'll put some feed in there. And I don't know what might happen. What might happen is that all the deer might be in the front pen. I don't really know, but we'll see, because we cannot separate those mamas and babies. They have to be fed several times throughout the day, so we cannot separate those mamas and babies. So the mama will come back and find her baby. Now, she may take it down to that bottom pen. There's so much shade down there. They may all be in the bottom pen. I don't know. We're going to leave this east pen gate open and see if we get some deer back in there. But for right now, the deer are to the point in the day that they're probably going to be starting to lay down and stuff. We're going to leave them alone. We don't want to move them around in this heat. And so we're just going to leave both of those east pens. They'll be totally open. They can go from one pen to another, and we'll see what happens. We definitely want those mamas hooked up with those babies, and we'll keep an eye out. We might see Bubba somewhere today. Well, I popped back up here in the middle of the day, and there was 1 baby left in here, and that's all. And I have moved that baby. I'm double checking right now to see. I didn't catch that baby. It was one of the older ones, and so all I did was open the gate, moved it over there. Its mother was in here when I went by a little bit earlier, but I just went and came by and looked, and sure enough, the baby was laying over there under the awning, right over there under the awning. And so all I had to do is just open the gate, move it around a little bit. It didn't run hardly at all, and it ran right through the gate. So we have both mothers and both babies over there. So now we've got 2 extra doe in that back pen and 2 sets of twins. So we should have 9 babies in that pen over there now, which is good. So I'm gonna open this pen right here back up and leave it open. I've got the other side of that. This is the west side of the pen. I've got the east side open already. I'm gonna open it up and leave it. We've got feed in here, and we'll see if some of our deer come home. We saw Bubba clear up by the shooting range. So he's pretty wild when he's in the pen, so he may not come back. We may just have to get a glimpse of him every now and then for our Thursday night watching deer videos, deer horns grow. I'd like to get him back in here where he would be safer, but you never know. He might even be safer in the outside. All things happen for good, so we're gonna think that happened for good also. But anyway, we'll be back up here and check on them here in a little bit. It's right in the middle of the day right now. I'm not gonna move anything around, but we've got this pen empty now, so we'll see if we can't get some deer to come back home. Okay, here's a little baby laying right there. Pretty little rascal, laying right there in that corner. What we've had happen, it's late in the evening, it's nice and cool, cooled off quite a bit. Another little baby laying right there. Pretty little rascal. Everybody's nice and calm. They are just so gorgeous when they're little like that. Look at that little guy laying there. Isn't he pretty? That's a little girl. We've got 13 now, and here's the deal. Here's the report on today's leaving the gate open. We have had 1 doe come back and get in either pen. So we've had 2 come back. Both of them were big and fat. They didn't have any babies out in the woods today, so we don't have to worry about that. So we put them in, and we have moved them from the front pen here back to the back pen. There's Apache up there. And we've moved them, so the front pens, we're gonna leave both these open tonight. We're gonna put more feed out, and hopefully when we come back in the morning, there might be another deer or 2 that's come back. So now we have 5 does outside that have escaped, and Bubba. We saw Bubba up by the driving range today, but we haven't seen him any other time. So he's running around in the woods having fun. I heard a gobbler gobble just as I was finishing up, and I looked, and there he is just on the other side of the pen. He's right here close by. He's got a hen off down there I can see down below, and he's in full strut, just absolutely doing his thing here in the middle of June. So I guess as long as the girls will play, the boys will too. It's another little gobbler there beside him. He's just wishing and hoping. He'll have to wait till he gets a little bit larger, because that big boss gobbler there, that big boss Tom, I maybe see 2 hens down there. I think I see 2 hens down there. But that is gorgeous right there. Here late in the evening, right before dark, the sun is just about to set. It's almost 8:30 here in Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma. This is a wonderful time of the year. People can get off of work at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the evening and still have time to go out and fish 2 or 3 hours before dark. It's sensational. And I'm hoping that a buddy of mine, Chad Robinson, comes by tomorrow evening, and we're going to go out and fish a little bit these last 2 or 3 hours before dark. I told him if he got a chance. He's working close by Robinson Excavation. They built our lake back when our lake dam broke back in 2015. Chad and his guys built it back and did an incredibly great job. They're just about the best in the whole part of southern Oklahoma. They've done quite a bit of little work for us, and hopefully he's going to get to come by and go fishing tomorrow evening. He's working close by, and so I told him, you get a chance, come on by and let's go fish a couple hours before dark. Wait till the heat breaks, and this is magic out there right now. I mean, it's a magic time to be fishing. Did you see that? Did you hear that gobble? Let's see if I can make him gobble again. You gotta love that. I don't care if you've never turkey hunted in your life. You have to love that right there. That is absolutely fantastic. And the good thing about it, if I kill that bird I'd have a good dinner, but I wouldn't get to enjoy him many times. I get to enjoy this many times. He's been doing this since back in March. So here it is, the middle of June. So April, May, June, for about 90 days, he's been chasing the girls and having fun. And that little guy's hoping to pick up the crumbs, whatever's left over. Well, guys and girls, it is about 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. You remember yesterday morning, Monday morning was when we found out that we had an open gate escape policy here at Twin Eagle Ranch. And we turned loose 9 does, actually 7 does, and Bubba. And Bubba got away. Bubba's out in the woods running around somewhere. And 2 does stayed with their twins. We moved them to the back pen. They're back there in the back. And we baited these, we moved the deer from the other pen over there on the east side. So we got 2 pens here in front that have no deer in them. We put out some food along where they could see it and smell it, close to the edge, and tried to get them to come back in. And here's what happened. Yesterday during the afternoon, we had 1 doe come into each pen. We thought they were pretty doggone sure they were the does that were the escapees. So that would bring that number down to 5, add plus Bubba. And during the night, I came down here during the night, and there was 4 or 5 deer in 1 pen. So I shut the gate. There was only 1 in the other one, so I let it open. When Apache come down this morning, we did have 5 deer in that east pen. They were all deer from the house. Green Tag was one of them, and a couple little bucks and a couple of does. And Green Tag is still carrying it, looks like, but I couldn't take a chance that she might have had a baby in the woods, so I turned her back out. And we let the 1 out that was in this other side because I don't think that was a deer that had been in here either. So we have still got 5 out that we know of, plus Bubba. And Apache saw Bubba yesterday. I mentioned that. Up around the shooting range, and that's the only time I haven't seen Bubba. So I don't know if we're going to get Bubba in the back or not, but when we do Thursday nights watching deer antlers grow, we'll see what happens. We'll see if we have it back. I'll try to give you an update if I can between now and then. Well, this is very hard to believe. It is about I don't know what time it is, 1 or 1:30 in the morning, and Chris is staying in Tulsa with Sherry. She had a doctor's appointment today, and she's got evaluation and rehab tomorrow. And so I come up to check and see what was in the pens. And I know it's dark out here and you can't see very good, and obviously you can't see me very good. I don't have hardly any light at all. I do have a light in my hand, but I'm trying to shut the gate. And here's the deal. Now, I don't know who all's in there, but there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is 5, 6, 7. There's 7 deer in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 deer in there. There's 8 deer. 8 deer in there. Okay, here's the pen that the deer escaped. And one of the reasons I want to shut the gates tonight is I definitely don't want those deer to be in there and a coyote getting in the pen. Definitely don't want that to happen. But I shut this gate over here. And another big deal is you see eyes and deer everywhere in those back pens, of course. We've moved some more deer in those back pens. Look at all of them. Another thing is I've got wire on the bottom around the edge where coyotes cannot dig under the fence. If they got into the middle fence, they got into this pen, they could then get into the back pen. If a coyote or a bobcat get in there, a bobcat can get in obviously by crawling over. But something that we want to take a look at down here, and we'll look at it from the outside. But I saw a deer in here, so I went in and shut the gate. I didn't want to take any chances. And there he is. And there he is. And look what that deer is. There's Bubba. There is Bubba. Bubba has come back. Bubba is the only deer in there. But there is Bubba. There is Bubba. Oh, he is so beautiful. He is such a gorgeous deer. He is such a gorgeous deer. But there he is right there. And you can see we're trying to That's Bubba. See those big giant horns? That's Bubba right there. He doesn't like the spotlight. But he is now back home, and everything should be fine. Okay, guys and girls. All right, guys and girls, let's put a wrap on this Great Escape video for sure. Let's do this for sure. We're coming back down to the pens here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like I said tonight. 8 deer that's in the pen. All of those deer are, I shut the gates last night about 1:30, and all of those deer right there, all of those deer are deer that they may be the ones we let get out, but we only let 5, so we've got 3 extra somehow. So I'm gonna go in there and take a look at them and see what we got. But we're probably gonna be leaving the gates open some, but we do have Bubba back in over there, and that's great. Bubba's back home. And we're gonna put a wrap on the Great Escape. We're gonna be able to look at all of the deer antler growth on tomorrow night. So be sure to tune in to Jimmy Houston Outdoors tomorrow night. Tell all your deer hunting buddies, all your friends around that like to watch deer, to be sure and check us out, because they're growing and they're getting bigger every single week. I think this coming week, Thursday night will be episode number 6, I believe. I'll check that out and try to make it right, make sure we're right when we do it. But here's what we've got in the pens right now. And there we go. Green tag is in here again. That's a different green tag. I don't think that is no, that's a different green tag right there. So that's some other deer that have been out. And those are all does, but that big green tag right there, that is green tag. Yeah, that's green tag. And she's still carrying, but we can't really take much of a chance that the others are carrying, so I don't know really what I'm gonna do. I think I probably will go ahead. Those all have tags on them, so it is perfectly legal to have all of those in a pen. You cannot pin up a wild deer in Oklahoma. You can have a wild deer, but you can't pin them up. And you must let them run free, and if they wanna come and sleep in your bedroom with you, that's okay. But you can't pin them up. And all of those deer in there have a tag. They're all deer that we've raised in a pen, been born in a pen. And but they came back. And we've got some of them in there that's gonna have babies, but I might just let them have their babies outside, and then they will be totally wild deer, and that'll work out pretty good. Guys and girls, remember, I love you.